So when I was younger, we had these things called party lines. And I suppose it's a little bit like a chat, maybe what you guys are used to. But what it was you had your phone and you either had a private line. So when you picked up, you're the only one talking. And you're talking, well, you're the only conversation, whoever you're talking with, the back and forth. However, if you had a party line, what happened was that's not your actual wire line, the wire line shared, and it would be multiple people. So there might be like 5 people who are sharing a wire. So when you pick it up, you have to listen first and see if anybody's on the phone. And if they're on the phone, if it's emergency, you might say, excuse me, but I really need to use the phone. Would that, can I get on the phone? Is that okay? And they could say no, or they could keep talking. They can tie up the entire line for all eternity and never hang up. But most often people would hang up, but you never knew where they were or who they were. So that was the thing. I think they should do that with cell phones, because everybody's on these chats and they're making friends and they're trying to, meet other people and hook up or whatever. And just think how that would happen if you had a party line and you picked up your cell phone and just any random strangers on there every time you pick it up. It'd be interesting. I do know that my mother used to get very upset because we had some lady who would be on our phone. We shared a line. It wasn't our phone, right? And my mom would pick up the phone and she'd ask the lady if she could, and the lady would be like, I'm talking. No, I'll be done in a minute. Call back later. Give me 20 minutes. And then my mom would check and she, of course, would still be talking. But the one thing I remember is she would get on the phone and listen to everything my mother would say. And my mom had 2 sisters and an aunt that was her age. So she was often on there talking, how women talk. And I remember one time, I don't know what my mom was talking about, but in particular, the lady could not hold her mouth. And she started chiming in on the conversation. And my mother, who was so proper and polite and sweet and kind, and she was like, you need to get off the phone. And that old lady's like, well, I never. And my mother just let her have it in the most polite Christian way that anybody could. But it was quite loud and it was funny. And I just think back to that and I think it'd be so interesting on a cell phone. Because it's